How's it going, everyone? Today we have a story time of a kid who is in love with Talking Ben. Yes, the ho, no, ho, ho, ho. Yes, that Talking Ben. This kid in class, I don't want to give it away too much, but starts trying to make out with Talking Ben. It is the most sus story I've received in a second. So if that sounds good, sit back, relax, leave a like on the video right now to claim your free nothing. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and like story times. With that being said, let's just jump right into it. Anyways, we're going to call the subscriber who submitted this story Will, and we're going to call this other kid Alex, because if I call him Ben like I usually do, that's going to be way too confusing, bro. But anyways, right, so Alex is telling me about this kid in his class named Will. And Will has always been a very strange child, to say the least. He is a total brain rot, loves Italian brain rot, loves Skibbity Toilet, loves all that kind of stuff. But he's always just been a very strange kid, There's nothing necessarily wrong with being a strange kid, but he's definitely one of the stranger ones, if you know what I mean. Anyways, so one day in class, Alex is sitting there, bored out of his mind, not really trying to pay attention. And that's when Will leans over to him. He and Will aren't necessarily friends, right? Alex isn't going to be like a jerk to him or something. He's not going to be like, oh, get out of here, bro. Like, we're not boys like that. But he's also a little bit just kind of like, why are you talking to me? Anyways, Will's like, yo. And Alex like, yo, what's up, man? He's like, I have a girlfriend. And he's like, oh, that's cool, dude. And Alex tries to go back to like, quote unquote, paying attention to class. The conversation is bad when Alex, who does not want to pay attention in class at all, decides that the best idea would be to pay attention to class. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just so not wanting to be in that conversation that he does the second to last thing he ever wanted to do, which is pay attention, because the last thing he wants to do is actually just, to actually talk to this kid. Anyways, he's like, yo, Alex. Alex like, Will, what's up? And he's like, I have a girlfriend and you do not have a girlfriend. So yeah, this kid, that's exactly probably how he sounds. The subscriber submitted this story, said he basically sounds like Eric Cartman, and kind of looks like Eric Cartman too, low-key. Anyways, though, yeah, so, I don't know, Alex is like, okay, bro, like, that's awesome, dude, like, great. I'm not trying to talk to you. Okay, he didn't say that. Alex is not that rude, or he's not that direct. At this point, Will was rude first, so really, shots fired, like, he can do whatever he wants. Anyways, he's like, I have a girlfriend, and you do not have a girlfriend. Me. And, okay, at this point, Alex is like, all right, this guy is just trolling me. I just don't care. Whatever. So then he notices that, Will leans over to, the person next to him. Let's call him Sam. And he's like, yo, Sam. Sam's like, yo, dude, what's up? I have a girlfriend. And he's like, okay. And you don't have a... And Sam's like, I've had a girlfriend for the last 2 years. He's like, what? Well, my relationship with my girlfriend's better than your crappy-ass relationship with your girlfriend. She probably sucks. Yeah, so this kid might low-key be Eric Cartman, bro. The more I double-check my notes, I have to do a double take half the time because I'm like, wait a minute. Is this actually Eric Cartman from South Park? Like, I'm not convinced it's not. Yeah, so anyways, right, Alex is like, all right, this kid is trolling, but he's also talking mad smack. Like, this kid is flexing the fact that he has a girlfriend so bad that, like, I don't even believe him. So at this point... Alex actually turns back to Will, which is quite shocking to Alex that he would want to re-engage in a conversation with Will, because it really seems like the last thing he wants to do is actually have a conversation with Will. But regardless of that fact, he turns back to Will, is like, yo, dude. Will's like, yeah, what, are you jealous about my girlfriend? He's like, no. I don't know if I believe you. And just Will looks at him with this, like, dead stare of, like, Alex is like, do you have any photo? If your relationship's so good, can I see a photo? And he's like, no, my baby's just really shy. She's so beautiful, but like the camera just doesn't really pick it up well, and she knows it. I wanted to tell her otherwise, but I'm like, babe, no, you look so good. You look so good, babe. And she's like, no, I can't be seen in photos. So I was like, babe, whatever you want. And Alex is just looking at him with the, like, are you serious right now, bro face? Like, are you serious? Like, this is clearly not true. This is beyond clearly not true. So sure enough, right, Alex is like, okay then. And Ben's like, fine. You know what? I will bring my girlfriend to show and tell tomorrow. Because they had show and tell this Friday. It was like, they were definitely like, they were in the 5th grade, so they might be a little bit older for show and tell, but like they still did it and it was like fun. One time some kid brought some big, like, some like chunk of, like a glass of chunky milk that he found like behind his radiator and tried to drink it. He proceeded to throw up everywhere, and then the teacher now had to vet whatever you brought in. Before it was a surprise, which honestly as a teacher, like low-key, that's a bad move, bro. Like letting kids bring in whatever they want to show and tell without vetting at first. Like you are going to end up with some kid bringing in some chunky milk and puking it all over the place. Like you were kind of just asking for it at that point. Yeah, so sure enough, right, the subscriber is like, okay, Will, you're going to bring your girlfriend into show and tell? Which is like, if it was actually a girlfriend and not Talking Ben, which he makes out with, then that would have been a little bit weird, dude. Like, all I'm kind of saying is like, I don't know. Like, I really just don't know when it comes to this, like, bringing in a girlfriend to show and tell. Like, you're going to show everyone your girlfriend like she's some kind of object. Like, you bring in, like, your Pokemon cards to show and tell. I don't know if I'd bring in, my girlfriend to show and tell. Like, that just kind of feels totally different. Maybe I'm crazy, but I don't know. That just feels weird. Anyways, right, so Alex later that day tells his friends about the whole interaction with that went down with Will. And, when he said he was going to bring in his girlfriend into show and tell, all of Alex's friends were like, dude, we need to come to your class. And Alex is like, you guys would never want to come to my class. And he's like, dude, like we don't care if we have to sit through an English lecture. We don't care if we have to skip our class. We need to see whoever this quote-unquote girlfriend is that Will's bringing in. First of all, if she's real, she's about to be crazier than him. She's about to be weirder and crazier than this guy. But if she isn't, well, then I got to see what is he going to bring in? Is he going to bring in like a photo that he printed out from stockimages.com? Is he going to bring in like some blow-up doll that he found in his dad's basement? Like, what is he going to bring in? Which they did not, none of them could have imagined what he was about to do. Because what he was about to do is genuinely almost unimaginable. It is just so crazy, and it's so beyond mind-bending, mind-blowing, back-blowing. I'm just kidding. Anyways, though, yeah, so some of them are able to sneak in the next day, but what you're about to listen to is absolutely absurd. Friday comes. It's finally time for show and tell. Anyways, so the next day comes around. It's finally show and tell. Alex, for the first time in his life, is excited to go to this class. It's 10 in the morning on a Friday. Usually he'd be a little excited because it's a Friday, but it's still too early in the day to be too excited. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still too early to be too excited. So it is show and tell. And the first kid goes up, shows off his Pokemon cards. Whatever, bro. Snooze fest. Just kidding. I like Pokemon cards. But you know what I'm saying? I'm waiting for the big reveal. Alex doesn't care about no Pokemon cards. I don't care if it's a holographic 1999 Charizard card. It does not matter. What matters is what's going to be coming next. So sure enough, right, the teacher was like, all right, now it is time for Will to show us something on his iPad, which is crazy that the teacher didn't vet what was going to be on the iPad. I mean, the teacher already had, not the bite of 87, but the glass of chunky milk of 2024. Like, there's already been some lore here. I feel like the teacher should have, done a little bit more due diligence. But, regardless, it makes for a good story, so I kind of don't care. But sure enough, right, Will goes up there. He's like, thank you, everyone. I would like to introduce you to my very real and amazing partner, Talking Ben. And he opens up his iPad, and it loads up to the Talking Ben app. If you guys don't know the Talking Ben app, it's this app that's been around forever. It's got this dog who's on the phone, and you go ring ring, and he picks it up, and he'll literally just say at random, I believe, yes, no, ho 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 ho, bing, and sometimes he'll just put the phone down, right? So he's like, oh, hi, Talking Ben, you're the best girlfriend ever. And like at this point, like Alex is in the back of the class with two of his boys, and they almost all buckle over, but they can't laugh, obviously. It's one of those situations where it's like, because they know it's almost like when in The Office, when Michael Scott played his movie, and Jim was like, I can't laugh at this because then he's going to stop playing the movie and I have to see the whole thing. It was a similar situation. Like Alex was going to get in trouble. The teacher, who I don't even know how didn't realize that two of Alex's friends were in this class too, would have realized that Alex's friends were there, probably would have stopped the presentation early. So they're just like, I can't laugh. He's like, oh, hi, Talking Ben. You're the best girlfriend ever. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, Talking Ben, when did we meet? Yes. What he meant to say was that we met many months ago when he was admiring me in the gym, benching 350, because that's something I totally do. And Talking Ben was like, oh my God, you're so wonderful. Can I be your girlfriend? And Alex is like, no way. He chose a male dog that's in an app to be his girlfriend. Like, he could have gone on, Getty Images and found some, like he could have typed in hotgirl.png and screenshotted the first image that came up and been like, oh, this is a photo of my girlfriend, guys. But no, he decided Talking Ben was the route. Genius. Yeah, so sure enough, right, this kid's low-key a little crazy, bro. Sure enough, he's like, yes, and Talking Ben and I are, you know what, guys, I'm gonna do it right now. Talking Ben, will you do the honor of a lifetime and get married to me? At this point, the whole classroom is just dead silent because half of them are just so shocked beyond belief that this is even happening in the slightest. Like, the fact that this is just occurring in general is blowing most people's minds. But on top of that, they're just so confused in general. They're just almost like messed up mentally in the head from this going on. And then, so Talking Ben, he just was like, will you marry me? Talking Ben's like, no. Because remember, it's random. Yes, no, ho, ho, ho. And Will's like, no, Talking Ben, I said, will you marry me? Ho, ho, ho. Talking Ben, will you marry me? No. Talking Ben, no. Talking Ben, yes. Oh my God, guys, he said yes. Oh my God. I would cry, but my tear ducts have been surgically removed, so I can't. Buddy's not even pretend to put on a performance and try and fake cry. And instead, he's going to lie and say, oh, my tear ducts have been surgically removed. Okay, buddy, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Oh, yeah, of course, man. And this is where things get... So at this point, the class is laughing a little bit. And the teacher's just stunned. The teacher's too stunned to speak. And the thing that's about to happen next is so incredibly crazy, and I hinted at it earlier, that you guys might need to sit down. In fact, you might want to equip yourself with some cringe armor, which you can do by leaving a like on the video. And if you made it this far into the video, comment Ben down below. On Spotify or YouTube, comment Ben if you made it this far. And if you're listening on Spotify, make sure you rate the podcast 5 stars and follow the podcast. If you're listening on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel with notifications on. And if you're a YouTube listener, consider hitting the join button by becoming a channel member. It's next to the subscribe button. Channel members, one, they support the channel. You get custom emotes that you can use in the comment section or when I go live. In addition, if you become a channel member, I will add you to a private group chat on my Instagram. I talk in it every single day, several times a day. So if you want to ask me questions, tell me custom stories, etc. Anyways, so Will, at this point, Will, I think, just wants to put on a show. And I think he also low-key started to fall in love with Talking Ben. Like, I know that the whole thing was just trying to pretend he had a girlfriend, which is crazy. He didn't even do Talking Angela, like the cat, the female cat. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least if you're going to say you have a girlfriend, at least make it the female one, right? You know what I'm saying? Anyways, though, he's like, oh my God, I'm just full of emotions. I'm just feeling so bold right now. And the whole classroom's like, what? And then Will picks up his iPad and starts kissing it. Be like, oh my God, Ben, thank you so much. No, Ben. And he starts like tongue kissing it, bro. Like, you didn't even give it a little peck, which would have been weird as hell. Don't get me wrong. But he went in for the whole tongue kiss, bro. Like, this is next level insane. So at this point, the whole class is like, oh my God. Like, everyone starts freaking out. Because, like, for the longest time, it was like this boiling up, pent up, crazy laughter, whatever, that was being suppressed. And when he started tongue kissing his iPad, trying to kiss Talking Ben, he was like, no, ha ha ha, yes. Bing, 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 yes. No, like just saying random stuff. He's like, blah, 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 blah. The whole class at this point is freaking out. The teacher's like, Will, stop that. That's not appropriate for class. And he like goes up and like tells him to sit down. He's like, you can't stop my love. You can't stop my love for me. No one's going to stand in between you and me, Talking Ben. Goes back. The whole class is freaking out. Alex turns to his friends and they're all laughing so hard. And, you know, his boy's like buckled over, can barely get words out. He's like, thank you so much for telling me to come to this. This has not only made my day, I think this is the best moment of my life. Like, I'm going to remember this on my deathbed, bro. This is so crazy. And at this point, the teacher's like, all right, get out of my class. Go to the principal's office and explain to the principal what you did, because I don't even know how to say any of this. I don't even know how to explain what's going on. The whole class, like, freaking out, laughing, all this kind of stuff. And Will walks out of the class being like, this won't be the last you hear from me. Me and Talking Ben, it's love and it's for real. Anyways, next Monday comes around. Will's back in class. He does not bring his iPad. He doesn't mention anything about his girlfriend. For the next week, everyone's like, yo, how's the girlfriend? How's Talking Ben, buddy? And he just does not reply to them. I think after a while, he realized that he went a little bit too far. And he is still called, everyone to this day, not as much as they did before, but will always once in a while ask how Talking Ben, his girlfriend, is doing.